Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got a video by Wilson C titled "The Toughest Decision Every NBA Team Must Make This Offseason." So basically, we're going to go through this right here, man. And I'm going to give you guys just like my quick opinion. I think that decision, like if that team should go through with it or should not do it, man. So here we go. Link to Wilson's channel in the description below. Let's get it.
With 2020 NBA free agency approaching, many teams.
I heard the season's going to start like
changes that
December
can either
or something like
their
that.
Title hopes or backfire. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. In 2019, the Los Angeles Lakers made the absolute right decision, trading away their young core.
Pelicans made the right choice too,
Davis, resulting in a championship. The
was great for both sides.
Meanwhile, gave Tobias Harris and Al Horford a combined whooping near $300 million.
Bitch-ass choice.
An absolute travesty of a decision. The Clippers gave up their entire future for below-average playoff P, and we might already be half.
Damn. I'm just realizing all that. Wow, they gave up all that for Paul George. Why am I just realizing this?
Way done with the Kawhi George experiment. Even after free agency,
why am I just realizing that?
Contenders will still make moves for the 2021 deadline, but let's take a look at the toughest choices each team must address. Starting in alphabetical order with the Atlanta Hawks to decide if...
Yes, I would extend John Collins. I would.
John Collins is the true second star to pair with Trae Young, a young team on the rise.
It's like a 20 and 10 guy.
Healthy,
right?
Acquiring Clint Capella created a weird fit. The 22-year-old's most deadly finishing at the rim, being extension eligible. Will the franchise give him a max quality deal or wait till he becomes a restricted free agent?
I don't know if I give him a max.
21 and a
I don't know about that.
10 rebound guy during the 2020 season. We'll have to see how he progresses, and if defense can improve, I do believe the team will give him an extension. The Boston Celtics, the Gordon Hayward situation. In the final year of his contract.
No longer need Gordon Hayward. He's fantastic. The reason he was brought to that team, though, was to be a leader and to be a go-to scorer. Jason Tatum and Jalen, those guys are two go-to scorers now. They're leaders. The reason they brought Gordon Hayward is no longer needed. There's other, positions on that team so they could use.
Hasn't been worth the money with injuries.
I would not do that. I would trade him. I would trade him.
Played the season. The question whether they trade him for another piece, a big man with size to help the undersized Daniel Tice. The 30-year-old now seen
could probably
as a
get Drummond.
player.
Maybe
Unlikely he'll see
a limited role
worth $34 million. Danny Ainge will pull the trigger on anything. An expiring contract. If Boston remains the same exact team in 2021, still not good enough to win it all. The Brooklyn Nets, to find a third star or not, Caris LeVert plays some of his best basketball.
Man, see, this one's... Because, you already got Kevin Durant and you got Kyrie. A third star, depending on who it is probably not going to be utilized to their star potential because of being in that third spot role. So, for me, I'd rather have KD, Kyrie, and depth as opposed to having KD, Kyrie, and, Bradley Beal and then having nobody else left on the team. I think that depth, especially with a team that's heavily injured prone, yeah, you definitely want that depth out there, man. So I'm gonna say, just keep what you got. Maybe make a few trades here and there, but for the most part, you all should be set.
On the bubble, looked like a legit star, but has some injury concerns. With Kyrie and KD, the faces of the franchise, whether the team trades LeVert for a proven star like Bradley Beal or a Jrue Holiday type player will be up to Sean Marks. Viewed as championship or bust, they should likely resign sharpshooter Joe Harris with the front course of Jared Allen.
Yeah, they're in a good situation.
Jordan. Are they good
Can't
enough
lose either
to
way.
play big minutes in the postseason, or will they try to sign more bigs, snatch a four like LaMarcus Aldridge? Too many questions to answer. The Charlotte Hornets draft the right guy at number 3.
Well,
Michael Jordan has had many awful drafts.
I mean, that decision, unfortunately, you can't just make that choice. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you obviously want to make the right choice, but you don't really know what that right choice is till, a year or two down the road.
Choices throughout his tenure, from Bus on Bus on Bus, Kwame Bus Brown, Michael Bus Gilchrist, Adam Bus Morrison.
Damn,
Charlotte
bro,
needs a
going in on him.
player to save the team from embarrassment. LaMelo Ball and James Wiseman should likely be the candidates. The team has Rozier and Graham.
I would take Wiseman.
Ceilings. Should consider extending Devontae, who's on a nice bargain. Charlotte most
they need not Cody Zeller.
Men like Wiseman. Mitch Kupchak needs to work his magic. The Chicago Bulls, starting fresh with Billy Donovan, team chemistry and leadership badly needed, but since they won't be...
I would probably take Denny Avdija at 4 if I was the Bulls. I like Kobe White. I like Levine. Laurie and Wendell are great. Otto Porter's kind of could go either way. I'd probably take Denny.
too much of a dread.
Or just the best available
too.
Can't go wrong there.
Pieces, figure out who they want with the number 4 pick. Ball, Edwards, and
Porter would be
Wiseman
nice.
seems to be the top 3. A group of Isaac Okoro, Obi Toppin, and Killian Hayes will be in the mix. Personally, I go with Hayes, a point guard, a position the team lacks. Will likely get rid of Chris Dunn. The Cleveland Cavaliers figure out what to do with their bigs. Andre Drummond, Tristan Thompson, and Kevin Love.
Okay, Drummond, I would try to trade or convince him to sign like a smaller contract. Thompson, no really need for him if you already got Drummond on the team. Kevin Love, I mean, it depends what the Cavaliers are looking to do. Like, Kevin Love is still a stretch big that's pretty solid when healthy. So it depends if they want to go like full on rebuild, which they probably should. If that's the case, you definitely trade away Kevin Love.
Will be extremely shocking if all 3 of these guys still on the team after the 2021 season. Love's contract continues to be a disaster, hasn't shown good leadership qualities. Very angry at his young guys last season. Focusing on
he was angry?
Will be a high regard.
What's he mad
get
about?
more building pieces. Shocking they didn't trade Tristan Thompson. Team will likely be in a lose-lose
Yo, got Larry
situation
Nance too.
if the young guys don't improve. The Dallas Mavericks do everything they could to create cap space and avoid signing major free agents.
Yeah, do they have any like super bad contracts? I think their contract situation's pretty. I could be wrong about that. I think Tim Hardaway's owed a little bit of money. No, he's supposed to be resigned, isn't he?
To create room for 2021.
Well, yeah, I agree with this.
A trio of Doncic, Giannis, and Porzingis will break the entire NBA. 2 of the best in the 2020s.
Well, also the thing about Luka is what makes him so good is like he almost has like that Steve Nash effect to him, where like he makes everybody around him better. So you could sign like 1-year contract guys, you'll still be a competitive team.
Perhaps maybe the 2 best players in a few years. Doncic taking the Clippers to 6 by himself without Dwight Powell and an injured Porzingis already tells us about his greatness. Team has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Trying to sign the 2-time MVP, maybe the next dynasty if it comes true. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be the sickest team of all time.
The Denver Nuggets deciding which
sickest
forward to keep. Jokic and Murray, 2 franchise stars, one of the best duels in the league. Excellent chemistry together.
I would keep. Okay, I like Will Barton at the 3. Michael Porter should be a 4. Paul Millsap, I'm okay if they coming back as like a 6 man. But if not him, obviously Jeremy Grant is great too. So, there's room on the team for those guys.
Paul Millsap, a free agent,
just
likely
Millsap should not be the starter.
Torrey Craig restricted.
Torrey Craig can walk away.
A player option could get more
Public
money from another team. Denver don't have the money to get all 4 of them back. Michael Porter showing what he can be capable of. Might make a dramatic leap next season. If he becomes the clear-cut third option, the Nuggets will be contending again. The Detroit Pistons, stuck in no man's land, they have to trade Derrick Rose for the sake of helping his career finish strong. 24-year-old Christian Wood, one of the most improved players, didn't even have a guaranteed contract and had to beat out Joe Johnson. His production allowed them to get rid of Drummond. The team needs to put a price tag on him as a valuable asset.
But that's the thing. It's like when you are a team, like when you put a price tag on a player. Okay, if we say like, hey, Christian Wood, you're worth $15 million. As a team that's in Detroit and a rebuilding team, like if that's what his price tag is, that's not all that much money where a contender cannot sign him for that much money themselves. So it's like, in the end of the day, like we almost got to overpay to get Christian Wood on the team. Or keep him on the team.
How good he will be on a
by
good
a lot
team.
too.
Or is
probably
he just
a lot.
Good numbers guy on a bad team? The franchise continues to stink. Likely still stuck with the declining, banged-up Blake Griffin and his contract. The Golden State Warriors trading the number 2 pick for a proven star. One of the best GMs.
James Wiseman, call it good.
Will have his hands full.
Just call it good.
Steph and Clay hopeful to bounce
no
back.
Drama.
Draymond fits great with them. Team needs to add a legit center. Marquise Chris isn't the answer. Andrew Wiggins shown no growth. I won't be shocked if the Dubs trade him. Even signing a guy like Marc Gasol or Gallinari in free agency helps. Trade Wiggins for
I think Marc Gasol retired, didn't he?
Just like that, the team will be back to contention. The Houston Rockets, be a normal team again. Just have at least one guy who's 6'10", and Harden being willing to adapt.
Yo, Isaiah Hartenstein punching air right now, man.
Small ball ain't cutting it. Harden's already 31, can easily score all the points he wants in the regular season. Won't matter if he loses in the playoffs again.
Yeah, Tyson
Being
Chandler
super
too.
Predictable of their offense. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook in his contract. A new coach and a new.
Hey, as a Piston fan, I'll take Westbrook in his contract. I'll take it. I'd be willing to.
System. The team needs new shooters and should really look to explore Westbrook, but first focus on a good head coach. The Indiana Pacers getting assets for Victor Oladipo, who made it clear he doesn't
this
want
one's
to be with
tough.
the Pacers, showing
I'd
poor
keep
body
him.
language and didn't seem to care. Not a guy you want to give the max. Only one great season in 2018. hasn't been the same since the injury. Having him a number 1
Y'all think he's overrated?
just adds to another first-round exit. The Los Angeles Clippers, Montrezl Harrell's free agency. He's lost.
I'll probably let Harrell walk away because that team's already paying money to a lot of guys. It's going to cost a lot to keep Harrell, and he's fantastic. Big-time energy guy. But that team is... Man, I love Harrell on the Clippers too, man. But I just don't know if it's the right choice.
Plenty of value after being terrible in the postseason.
Let's give him the start,
amazing
man.
in the
give
regular season, but can't shoot, can't guard anybody taller.
Damn, he was good in regular
the Clippers
season, for
try
sure.
to get a legit big like Marc Gasol for a 1-year deal for cheap and let Harrell walk. I even considered the team signing a point guard like Rondo, who's way better than overrated Beverly, and pay him because of his playoff experience and being able to facilitate.
Overrated
Los Angeles Lakers decide whether to trade Kyle Kuzma or let him walk after 2021, proving he's not the third option and looked nothing more like an average role player all playoffs. And awkward
take him to Detroit also.
Gets blamed. Still plenty of value until he struggles more.
We'll take all
better
the garbage.
for him to play better on a bad team so he gets his money. The Memphis Grizzlies figuring out Josh Jackson, if he's legit or not, close to being...
No, they should be giving all those minutes to, what's his name, man? Justice Winslow. Now they got Winslow on the team. The Josh Jackson experiment. Nope, we don't need that. That's fine.
Call the bus.
If he
don't pan out, will be a free agent in 2021.
I didn't know he was even still on the team. I thought he was on the Cavs for some reason.
Play well for the G League. A great athlete, but still can't shoot. If he still struggles, the Grizz can convince dumb teams to take him for more useful players. The Miami Heat
Are my Pistons one of them dumb teams?
Already a legit team.
We'll give you a third-round pick.
Is key for attracting stars. Goran Dragic might have had his last legit season aging. Jay Crowder, heavily depended upon, simply isn't good enough. Perhaps Pat Riley can reconnect with Gallo again. I believe the team will low-key make big moves in 2020.
I would try to get Gallo and Chris Paul. And I don't know if the salary allows that or not, but that's what I would try to do. And I would try to keep Goran Dragic. I would do, CP3, probably Tyler Hero, Jimmy, Gallo, Bam. Off the bench, you got Duncan Robinson, with probably Goran Dragic over Kendrick Nunn, right? Like, at that point, you probably just let Kendrick Nunn go to a different team, I guess. Unless you want to keep Nunn over Dragic, that's fine too, but Dragic obviously was more important at times. So, yeah, a lot of different directions they can go with it, though. But I would not mind bringing back Goran at least as a backup point guard like he was for most of the season anyway.
The Milwaukee Bucks convincing Giannis to stay, easier said than done. His role players lack championship toughness. The team will continue dominating all regular season, but Coach Bud collapses in the postseason, doesn't put his superstar in the best position to succeed, not going all out on their
also
minutes.
A team that can use Chris Paul
to get to the finals and go all out to win it all. Another second round exit, their future screwed. The Minnesota Timberwolves decision with their number 1 pick, because this year's draft isn't loaded with a guaranteed generational type talent. They could package the number 1 pick for perhaps Brandon Ingram in a sign and trade deal. Carl Towns growing very impatient with the franchise.
I haven't heard about that one yet. Ingram on the T-Wolves, that'd actually be balling as hell. I don't know if the Pelicans would do that though. They don't really need because they don't really need Anthony Edwards. No, I guess they could use Edwards with Zion, but Ingram's already been balling out for the Pelicans.
If nothing's done, another 30-win season, he'll be demanding a trade soon. The New Orleans Pelicans, whether or not to trade Jrue Holiday, they'll likely give Brandon Ingram the max. Jrue under contract through 2022.
Get something for him.
Teams have shown interest. New Orleans also needs more shooters. Understand Gundy's system. Playoff or disappointment next season. No in between. The New York Knicks finding a good point guard. Their Achilles heels for many years. That's only 20% of their concerns. Rumors about Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. Those guys alone won't help the team go anywhere. Having the number 8 pick, super risky again. If Killian Hayes still on board, the team should draft him. Likely another terrible season.
Now we'll take him on Detroit.
The OKC Thunder figuring out a timeline in rebuilding. CP3 in his mid-30s. Gallo wants to sign elsewhere. Shooter draws interest from other teams. Steven Adams' contract will run out. SGA the future. Luke Dort a huge bargain.
Hey, when you own the Clippers draft picks for the next 273 years, it's like you don't really even need to rebuild. It's like you already got the picks and everything. Now, the Clippers actually could be bad. They blow things up, so who knows?
The Orlando Magic to decide whether to keep or trade Aaron Gordon. The team continues to be average, nothing more. Gordon, a weird fit, hasn't developed into the player we thought he'd be. Too many forwards.
Get a shooter at the 3.
Needs more
Isaac at the 4.
guys. 2 years left on his contract. Injury prone. I believe Orlando trades him. The Philadelphia 76ers figuring out how to build around Embiid and Simmons. Of all the head coaches available, they went with the king of 3-1 ship.
I will say the way not to build around them is Al Horford at the power forward spot. That's Probably step number one.
Rivers,
Probably step number
overrated.
one.
Rivers, Elton Brand, a disaster. Al Horford and Tobias Harris's contract, dumpster fires. The team likely get bounced in round 2. If Rivers couldn't figure out how to make the Clippers work with PG and Kawhi, what makes you think he could figure out Simmons and Embiid? The Phoenix Suns, keep Devin Booker happy. The only perfect team
in the bubble.
Monty Williams seems to be the right coach. Booker under contract till 2024. Team looks motivated to play hard and much improved from previous years. Start by resigning.
They'll be in the playoffs next year.
And Dario Saric would be a good start. The Portland Trailblazers deciding on Carmelo Anthony's future, whose career appeared to be over before the...
I would say Melo needs to decide what to do with his future. It still seems like at times he still thinks he wants to be like that superstar and everything that he once was, and it's just not it no more. Like, it's just not there.
Blazers gave him a shot, worked out well, a great comeback story. Anthony wants to come back with the team unless other teams don't give him.
Yo, I just realized I got my hat matches in my shirt.
Moves will be made. Portland will continue getting bounced by better teams in the playoffs. The Sacramento Kings resigning Bogdanović. Let's be honest, this team won't attract any good free agents. A brutal franchise the last decade and a half. A deal worth about 4 years, $70 million would be decent. Luke Walton hasn't been a good coach.
They already pissed off Buddy Hield also.
Prone, has bus written all over him. The San Antonio Spurs. Has the journey finally come to an end and the new one
about 2 seasons ago?
Does the franchise now fully accept a rebuild starting right now or wait a little longer? Missing the playoffs for the first time since '97, the rebuild has been inevitable since Kawhi left. DeMar and LaMarcus will find new homes. Popovich inching closer to the finish line. Good things must come to an end.
Yeah, I can see Popovich retiring very soon.
Managing their own free agents. Messiah Ujiri, one of the best GMs. Van Vliet, Gasol, and Ibaka all unrestricted.
Cap, man. Come on, man. Cap.
The team's still extremely competitive. Other teams fascinated for Van Vliet will give him loads of money. Toronto might be hesitant to resign him, whether they want to create cap space for 2021 or pay their guys this summer.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
The Giannis extended between Mitchell and Gobert. Rudy qualifies for the Supermax, but is he a Supermax player?
No.
He's limited on offense?
Hell no.
I don't think so. Mitchell could get a deal around 170 for 5 seasons. Gobert already 28 years old and shown superstar glimpses in the playoffs. I believe the team will try to build around Mitchell.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Deciding to keep Bradley Beal or not, which might depend on how good or bad John Wall plays.
Hey, all I'm saying, if they get themselves a good draft pick out there and John Wall comes back healthy, I'm going to say, guys, the Washington Wizards next, don't sleep on them, man. I'm just going to say, if John Wall comes back healthy, they get themselves a good draft pick, do not sleep on this team next season.
Sick and tired of losing seasons, and better than ever, Wall likely will not be as good and already.
John Wall, Bradley Beal. I guess they bring Rui Hachimura, Davis Bertans, Michael Jordan. Okay, that's the starting 5. There we go.
If they trade Beal, the team better get a bunch of trade assets at the right price. A rebuild feels 50-50 for now. Thank you.
All right, guys, that is the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section, what do y'all think about these right here, man? Do you feel like these were some of the toughest decisions out there? Is there a more tougher decision? Give me the answer to your favorite team. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.